Hello everyone, please excuse the lighting. I have a little bit of a headache and I want my eyes to get some rest. But that is not going to stop me from giving you some updates. But before we start, did you guys see this?
Every day we rely on law enforcement to save lives. Then on January 6th, we relied on law enforcement to save our democracy. We saw what happened. The Capitol Police, the D.C. Metropolitan Police, other law enforcement agencies were attacked and assaulted before our very eyes, speared, sprayed, stomped on, brutalized, and lives were lost. And for 3 hours, the defeated former President of the United States watched it all happen as he sat in the comfort of the private dining room next to the Oval Office. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American.
Are you kidding? So that's why the Secret Service closed that investigation. When they found cocaine at the White House, now everything makes sense. What a joke. So you're telling me that they believe we are not going to notice this guy going from America can be described in 2 words. Made in America. Made in America. And from that we go to Donald Trump is a terrorist. Donald Trump is not pro-American. Yeah. We're not going to notice. What a pathetic clown. Unbelievable. Anyhow, I got some updates to give you, but before we do that, I want to read you a comment from one of my subscribers. I do read all of your comments, by the way, but this one goes hand in hand with an update I'm bringing you here today. So this is in response to my latest video where I was asking you guys if you felt safe. So this dear subscriber of mine commented, and I quote, "No, I do not feel safe. I'll tell you why. Leaving work one morning in February 2024 at 5:30 a.m., I locked my door and headed downstairs towards my car. I was only a few steps from my car, and like a flash, someone grabbed me from the back and put their arm around my neck, and the other hand flashed a blade. There's no way I'm going to go without a fight. I'm going to go full terror woman. I'll go down fighting. It's my nature. I didn't realize we had been moving backwards. And I then realized towards my stairs. That pissed me off to a degree I didn't even know I could feel. From somewhere deep in my gut, a horrific sound came booming out of me. As I yelled, no, it was loud. I began kicking the wall as soon as we reached the stairs. The knife didn't even register with me, not until later. A few steps up, I got good leverage and was kicking the hell out of the wall as he pulled me up the stairs. I heard a man yell, "Stop!" It was my next door neighbor who generally leaves at the same time I do. He rushed down the stairs and grabbed the guy from behind. I took that opportunity to jerk away from the a-hole and I jumped over the stair rail. We were only up about 4 steps, so it wasn't a big drop. Neighbor wrestled him down the stairs and was able to get him down on the ground face first. Neighbor looked up at me and said he saw him grab me, called 911, and came out to help me. We waited for the police and they arrived quickly. They took the guy and cuffed him and put him in the back of one of their cars. The cop came back and told the other cop he doesn't have ID, but says he's from Venezuela. I said, "Oh, great. That means you have to let him go?" They shook their heads no. They took him away. I took the day off. I have been freaked out every morning leaving for work now. I've got a taser and it's always at the ready, but really? We shouldn't have to live in fear and walk around with protection at the ready. It's out of control and I'm pissed. And that is another reason why we have to keep informed and be prepared for what's coming, because it is coming, unfortunately. All right, guys, that being said, let's jump into the updates. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's get started. Okay, guys, so we got two updates for today. So let's jump onto the first one.
Gang members from South America have been reportedly burglarizing upscale homes across the country. Newly released security footage showing just some of these break-ins. Well, now calls are growing to change the visa waiver program, which currently allows foreigners from some countries to stay here up to 3 months without documentation.
We understand that the gangs are primarily from Chile, right, Hannah? But get this, they're not only targeting places like California, like you might expect, or Florida or New York. They're actually going after the Midwest. These group of highly trained burglars from Chile are stealing cash, jewelry, safes, and luxury handbags.
Okay, so you got that, right? They are highly trained. Just in case you were wondering what type of skills they had. Let's continue.
Since late 2023, more than 40 homes have been burglarized in Oakland County, Michigan alone. Law enforcement officials say that the gangs are targeting affluent communities, including homes of executives and CEOs tied to the big three automakers. Now, News Nation spoke with Oakland County, Michigan Sheriff Mike Bouchard, who told us he believes that these are getting sophisticated training because some of the break-in techniques that they're using are professionally orchestrated. He believes the groups are all coming from Chile because it is the South American country that qualifies for the visa waiver program, which allows travel to the U.S. for up to 90 days. Bouchard says that the burglary is so overwhelming in his community, he has asked the federal government for help.
We're not going to stop it as a local agency or even with, state and federal partners. It's got to be stopped by national policies. They're aware of the fact that we're having these crimes all across the country. But at this point, they've not shown any inclination to shut that program down or even pause it.
According to Bouchard, no inclination to shut it down or to stop it. He tells us the organized break-ins are happening in at least 8 states across the country, from New York to California. He estimates there are 100 crews operating right now, Hannah, throughout the U.S.
You see that map, right? To me, the organized war has already started. It has. Let's not kid ourselves here. Another disgrace. Let's move on.
Working in teams of 3 to 6 people. Each member of the crew has a role in carrying out the theft. And he says that those tools that they're using can jam Wi-Fi, operated cameras, and alarm systems. So, according to him, Hannah, the spokesperson, they're saying that they're aware of the spike in crimes, and they say they're working with Chile to address the problem, Hannah. But the techniques that were used to really stop these guys just aren't working in this situation.
Yeah, they seem well adapted to technology as well.
Meanwhile, the guy at the White House is high as a kite. It just doesn't make sense. But let's go into the other story here where we have confirmation by a Border Patrol agent who claims the cartel is in charge of the border.
A Border Patrol agent telling us they believe the cartels are fully in control of the southern border. That interview, part of a special edition of Dan Abrams Live, focusing on the realities at the border faced by agents every single day. Allie, the agent you interviewed, who wished to remain anonymous, essentially saying Border Patrol is not the one who is in control.
Yeah, and Alex, that's something that we've been reporting here at News Nation, but hearing it straight from kind of the horse's mouth here, the people on the front lines, it really gives you a different feeling to what really is happening down here. Hearing them say, we are not in control of the southern border, the cartels are. So let's take a listen to what that agent said specifically about the problems here.
What do you believe is one of the things that everyday ordinary Americans don't understand about the southern border?
The biggest thing is that we do not control the border. The cartel controls the border. Usually we're chasing around pawns while the kings and queens are doing whatever they want.
Now, Border Patrol is saying that they're always in kind of a reactionary standpoint down here, saying the cartel's always 1, 2, maybe even 5 steps ahead of them, usually with the high ground. They're always watching what's happening over on this side. They have scouts that are over on the U.S. side as well. So when it comes to protecting America, while this agent said that they would sign up for this job all over again, knowing what they know now, they say that Americans need to protect themselves because no one is coming. Take a listen to that part of that interview.
You know, the media is only reporting what they can report on, right? Which is statistically speaking a small percentage of the actual bad guys that we're catching. Who's getting through. The really good ones we will never catch. You can't pay attention to the matches that are walking through the border when all you can see is the little bonfire. Our border is by no means secure.
Now, that agent saying that they can't focus on the matches. What they mean by that here, Alex, is the people who are trying to evade, trying to slip through and not get caught by Border Patrol. And that's what we were doing last night while we were embedded with Texas DPS for this border special. They go after the matches, the people who jump the wall, and within moments, they're picked up by a load vehicle and it's off to the races. They end up in the interior of our community. That's what they go after here. They're trying to get the smuggler so that they can arrest that smuggler and kind of cut him off at their knees. And they're also trying to kind of rescue those migrants in a sense. Yes, they get turned over to Border Patrol, but these pursuits and these scenarios are very dangerous. And it's very hot out here as well, Alex. So right now is a time when a lot of migrants lose their lives just trying to get into the U.S. So hearing the border is not secure from an agent who is actively in the fight against this border crisis was pretty staggering and shocking. And Alex, the feedback I've gotten is every agent I've talked to, they say they agree and they wish that they could go on and talk about it, but they fear for their own future and, you know, their livelihood and what would happen to them in the investigations that would ensue from the federal agency if they speak openly.
I can tell you that this makes perfect sense, unfortunately. I know that sometimes you guys in the comment section say, let's go ahead and send our troops to the southern border to protect us and defend our country. But let me tell you something, some of them are already there. However, they are not doing what you think they should be doing. So please, let's watch this interaction I had with a couple of them the last time I went to the southern border. Pretty big. It's crazy, huh? As I continued driving alongside the wall, I encountered what I thought were Border Patrol officials, but turns out they were the U.S. Army. Now, before you get too excited, they were there not to stop the migrants as I thought, but why don't we just listen to this exchange? How are you, officers? Just a quick question. I'm just trying to do a report on what's happening, you know, with the border situation.
If you want, we could refer you to our, because of OPSEC, we could refer you to our leadership, so you could get more information about that.
Got it. No, yeah, I mean, I'm not. I know that you guys cannot do interviews, right? You're not allowed to do that, right? Yeah. No, it's just regular questions.
So we wouldn't really know or be able to really give you any information on that.
Got it.
It's more so like a border patrol. They're more like experienced in terms of these matters.
Got it. Oh, so you guys are not border patrol?
No, we're not border.
Oh, it's U.S. Army,
yes,
right?
Yes,
so, do you guys work with Border Patrol also together?
That's correct.
You do. Okay. So, like, if a migrant wants to come in right now, do you guys process them like Border Patrol, or?
No, it's just strictly Border Patrol.
So
we're strictly here to help Border Patrol
assist in their law enforcement duties.
Got it. But you guys wouldn't, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, if you see migrants right now climbing over or trying to cut over, you guys couldn't stop them, right?
No, we would have to report it directly to Border Patrol in the radio.
This is Border Patrol's.
So you're just like basically watching for them.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. Wow, interesting. What do you think, by the way, what's happening right now with the border? The numbers that we're seeing.
Unfortunately, because we're in this uniform, we can't have our own opinion
about this.
About this. We strictly have to be neutral.
Neutral.
We have to go by what the law says and be neutral.
Because you're a U.S. Army, obviously.
US Army, exactly.
Yeah. It's a joke. It's a joke. So indeed, the cartels are in charge of the border. It is no longer a secret. And that does it for today, guys. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you to my amazing supporters. Please check out the shoutout section in the description below. Do not forget to follow me everywhere, okay? Just in case. And smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys on the next episode.